Balcony Salon, a mini classical concert. First of all, apologies for those sitting on the cushions and standing there. We were not expecting such a huge audience. I was planning for 30, but I think the turnout is more than 18 this time. I'm so happy for all your support. For those who are new to the Balcony Salon, it's a weekend activity group that initiated this March. The purpose of this group is to establish a platform for people to share their passion, for people like us to share the passion around. And the value of the group is to introduce a brand new concept of social events to the young people in Hong Kong. Something different from drinking and karaoke that we're most familiar with. And so far we've had topics about Chinese ceramics, calligraphy, classic music, and watches. And in the future, we'll be having psychology, wine tasting, mathematics, and all sorts of topics. And I sincerely hope that all of you can stay tuned and join our events in the future. And about this concert, it's actually a joint cooperation from the Balcony Salon and another group called Music for Community. And Winnie and Annie here is working with me on this event for over 3 weeks now, and my deepest gratitude to the two lovely girls over there. Give them a round of applause. Now I would like to invite Annie to introduce us to the musicians of Music for Community Group. And the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Becky. Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. This is a really great turnout, and it's a really wonderful pleasure to be working with the Balcony Salon on this event, because Betsy and Winnie have put in so much hard work into this event, putting everything together. So please continue to support them and their events. They're really a great platform for people like us to share about passion and our interests. So thanks to them, we also have a chance today as a group, Music for Community, the musicians. We have a chance to tell people about us and what we do, what we believe in as well. We're a group of musicians that we really do believe that music should be shared to everybody and should bring value and happiness to everyone's lives. So we were very lucky ourselves. We have been exposed to classical music since a young age, and most of us actually aren't professional musicians today, but we're kind of left with this idle skill of being able to play the instrument. So we thought, why don't we make use of the skill and try to give back to the society? And that is exactly what we're going to do. We want to organize these free concerts for the community, especially reaching out to those young, underprivileged children and youth in Hong Kong. And we really hope that through classical music we can bring them value and joy. And so my musicians are here today with me, and they're all very talented musicians. Chester here, he is a pianist. He also plays the flute in the orchestra. Francis, the violinist. Christy, the flutist. Michael, the cellist. Joyce, also on the violin. There will be other occasions like today where we organize concerts like the one today, and for the wider community for support. So I hope you all continue to support us. But with that, let's come back to the music program today. The program today is one that I'm very excited about because it consists of various pieces from different composers, some of my favorite composers, over different periods of time, played from different instruments, and our musicians, they're going to execute all the pieces very well, I have no doubt, because they understand the music, and I'm sure that they will bring the music alive for all of you today. So the first piece that we're going to bring to you today is the most famous prelude by Rachmaninoff, who is a very famous Russian composer in the Romantic period in the 20th century. And this is one of his most famous preludes, the C-sharp minor. Rachmaninoff actually composed this piece before the revolution, the Russian Revolution, but only performed extensively when the revolution, after the revolution broke out, and he fled to America. And I guess the audience at the time was very overwhelmed by all the intensity and emotion in the music. He was incredibly homesick when he performed it, and he was giving concerts to make a living. Actually, rumor has it that he composed this piece after a nightmare he had. He was burned to death, and he dreamt his funeral and woke up and wrote a song about it. So inevitably, the piece is a bit heavy, a little bit daunting, but it's really beautiful music, and Chester's going to bring it to us, the piece. We're actually going to present it in a special way today because I'm going to recite a poem on top of it because we thought that it would add an interesting layer to the music. The poem is from Marina Tsveteva, also a Russian poet, and she composed this piece during the revolution. And in the piece, she expressed her sentiments towards the traditional Russian values, which she very much believed in, just like Rachmaninoff. In the music, you can hear the church bells of the Russian Orthodox Church. So look out for those sounds, those very ominous church bells, and we hope you enjoy it. From my hands, take the city not made by hands. My strange, my beautiful brother. Take it, church by church, all 40 times, 40 churches, and flying up the roofs. And Spassky gates, and gates, and gates, where the Orthodox take off their hats, and the chapel of stars, refuge chapel, where the floor is polished by tears. Take the circle of the 5 cathedrals, my dome, my soul, they wash us in their dark gold. And on your shoulders, from the red clouds, the Mother of God drop her own thin coat. And you will rise, happened of wonder powers, never ashamed, you loved me.
cathedrals in Moscow. After listening to the really grand and solemn bells in Russia, we would like to take you to Italy, where the bells are slightly smaller. The next piece is La Campanella, in English, the Little Bells. It is taken from the third movement of the Paganini's Violin Concerto No. 2 in B minor. Paganini is a famous violin player, just like Romagno, who wrote the previous piece. He's such a genius that there were rumors about him selling his soul to the devil in exchange for his talent. We can easily notice the gypsy coloration in the piece, as Paganini employed generous use of dance-like rhythms and bell-like harmonies. This great piece also inspired future musicians, for example, these piano versions. So Francis will be playing this for us with chess accompanying. I have a question for you, Francis.
Yeah.
Are there any parts that you find particularly challenging?
I think the most challenging part is the double stop part.
Can you show us a little bit what is this?
Yeah. Okay, this part is difficult because I think you have to control your finger and not you have to compress it when moving forward.
Oh, okay, I see. So it's difficult to make sure two notes are in tune. Yeah. But I'm sure you can pull this off. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going now. After this, let's move to a mellow instrument. The following is a Bach cello suite 1 prelude. It is a very different style from the previous two pieces, which are very expressive, with the help of dramatic melody phrases and complex textures, as if the emotions are bursting out. However, in this piece, Bach had a more simplistic style of music, as representative of the musical style of the Baroque period. This cello prelude consists of relatively simple notes and rhythm, which leaves much room for imagination for musicians to express them. So, Michael, do you think that cello is an instrument that's possible to play structured pieces or more expressive music?
Yeah. I think cello is a very versatile instrument, and as you may watch the videos from YouTube, the piano guys with the two cellos, they are very popular.
Yes.
And I think they are very suitable for some very classical or romantic period
Music, but also like they have a modern variation.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Michael. So thank you, Michael. We now time travel and fast forward ourselves from the Baroque period to a slightly modern year, the 20th century. The next piece is Prelude in D major, Opus 23 by Rachmaninoff. This piece is part of his 10 preludes that he wrote in 1901 and 1903. As a Russian, you can say the Russian quality runs in his music. He creates this atmosphere by writing the impression of the mass landscape in Russia in his compositions. Rachmaninoff himself was physically capable of portraying the style as he had really large hands. So, well, he can play with a single hand from this note to this note. Well, I think showing here, I think it's like this big, the single hand. Well, I don't know why his hands are so big though. Anyways. Other than the Russian style, commentators also remark that he translates silence into music and employs innovative sound effects that are often belt-like. So let's see if we can pick up such elements in any performance. So, a few questions. What is it that you like about Rachmaninoff?
Well, like you said, the very Russian quality. I think I really like the rich Russian colors in this music. There's just so many layers of them that you can explore, and that is beyond what you can read on the text. And I think the Russian colors, they really differ from different periods, like the French Impressionist music, like Debussy and Ravel, which you hear the music is kind of, it's very colorful, but then it's like very dazzling and dreamy and fake. Yeah, but then Rachmaninoff's Russian colors, they're very deep and rich and really digs into your heart. So that's what I like about it.
So can you describe the picture you're painting? Like, because you said like it's a landscape, right? So what's the landscape all about?
Well, in this piece I'm about to play, it's a small piece, but it really paints a really beautiful picture. In my mind, I think I had something simple. I think to me it's about the change of season from winter to spring. So in the beginning, it starts off with a very quiet winter days where everything is still. And like you said, Rachmaninoff is really good at translating that silence into music. And then eventually, you hear some movements, some signs of life, and things just start happening from there. Things wake up, and then you hear like the snow melting down from the mountain, and the river starts flowing, and everything starts developing, and then it's quite obviously you reach a climax where everything just kind of melts on a large scale, and the day's over, and you arrive at a brand new day of spring, and things take a little while to settle, but then they eventually do.
Okay, so please. So continuing with this theme, we now turn from winter to spring. Coming up is the Balcony Salon number 5 in F major, or better known as the Beethoven Spring Sonata, performed by Francis and Tasker. Beethoven is a prominent classical composer and a nature lover. He often uses the F major theme to compose pastoral pieces to describe the screens he so adores. This sonata contains lyrical and melodious themes, spiced up with some sudden modulation and unexpected dynamics. So, Francis and Tasker, Spring. the composer of the next piece. Not only is Bach the biological father of 20 children. What? 20 children, yes. Well, I think he had like 3 wives, I guess. I don't know. I think so. He's literally the father of music. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at, yeah.
Are you one children then?
But no, yeah, maybe. Yeah, because he helped popularize well temperament. Well temperament means that, like the 12 notes per octave, as you can see here, like. Of the standard keyboard are tuned in a way that is possible to play major and minor keys, and it will not sound out of tune. You know, so it's really important because you have to be out in tune to play good music, right? So it's really important for the development of piano making and composing, as people were able to stabilize the pitch of the exact notes. So Bach's contribution and works are indeed germs of the Baroque period. Bach is well known for his composing style of a polyphonic texture, meaning that a few melodies are played together at the same time with the same instrument. The next piece is Gavotte and Rondo, a piece taken from one of the dance movements of the Bach Partita No. 3 in E major. Emitting a brilliant and joyous mood, this excerpt epitomizes the personality of Bach and the artistic conceptions of the Baroque era. Let's now welcome Joyce.
be presented to us by Christy on the flute, and I'll accompany her on piano. This is a piece by Mozart, as you all know. He is probably one of the most famous classical composers. He started composing music at the very tender age of 5. And I remember you told me something about Mozart that
Oh,
was very
yes.
interesting.
This piece actually, he actually treats this piece as trash. So, well, you know, he's a genius, but, well, I have to disagree with him, definitely. Because this piece is really good and it's really musically expressive. So not only does it, it's like, you know, the melodies are really simple, but you have to be really careful when it comes to phrasing and interpretation.
Okay, and when you play this piece, what kind of picture do you have in mind?
I imagine myself sitting in the park and looking at people on the lawn picnicking. Like I saw children playing balls with each other. I saw adults talking to each other about the kids, about the work and everything. And suddenly there's a cloud, a dark cloud, and looms over, and suddenly it starts raining. As indicated by the relative minor, you'll see later. And after that, but soon the sun comes up again, so everybody's happy again. That's the piece. I have fun, yeah.
Well, Mozart really used to play for all the aristocracy, like the kings and queens. So imagine that you're kings and queens today.
So this guy, I know his name sounds a little bit strange, but bear with me. Isaac Albanese is a Spanish romantic composer who is best known for his piano work based on folk music. The creation of El Puerto is inspired by a poor town of Cadiz from Iberia. So this week is one of the last and the greatest work of Albanese. The work is filled with features that provoke one to think of Spain, one of which is Zapateado, meaning shoe dance like this. I don't even know how to dance, but whatever this is. Shoe dance. With intricate rhythms and chord cluster like the guitar, which the Spanish claim as their own invention. So that's it. El Puerto, the horn.
to a bit about what Christy introduced for Bach. His music is definitely very special because as compared to the later periods like the Romantic period and the Classical period and Impressionist, his music was really pure, and it was kind of so pure that there was very limited human emotions in it. So its music was composed primarily for churches and religious purposes. So they're all like kind of conversations with God, and he, in his composition, the technicality side of it, he can really, with one instrument, he writes 4 voices, and so the instrument is able to convey 4 voices in one line. So that's why I think if Bach wasn't a musician, he would have been a mathematician, because there's actually a lot of calculation in those compositions. So brought to us today by basically all the musicians, apart from myself, the double violin concerto by Bach.
one more piece. It's Gluck and Gluck.
Thank you so much for coming to our concert. This is actually our first concert that we performed, and there will be more concerts in the future, and we hope to see you again in the future as well. There's a list of people that I need to thank. First of all the musicians at Musical Community, and they've done a great job, so please give them a giving me and our musicians a lot of advice on the little project, and also Eric over there, who actually helped to initiate this idea. And I want to thank all my friends who are here and all of Betty and Winnie's friends who have come to support us today. And yeah, so I hope you all enjoy the evening, and we'll see you again soon.
Both the Music for Community Group and the Balcony Salon are actually all online. We have two websites. It's pretty easy to find, musicforcommunity.com and thebalconysalon.com. And for my website, I posted all the previous sessions, including videos, photos, and all the PowerPoint materials on the website. And for those who have missed the previous sessions, you can actually get to learn a lot from just the website. And we will post all the videos and photos of this session online as well, so you can actually see yourself in the pictures, because our photographers are everywhere. So I believe there is still a group of people who are not actually on my distribution list, and would you come to me afterwards and I'll put you on the distribution list for the future events. So thank you so much for coming, and for those who want to stay for dinner, please come to me as well. Thank you.